Unless Yoshi has been paid off by me. Because we just had a big update. And all the characters I rated S tier got nerfed. And all the characters that I rated really bad, which is 7, got buffed. Actually good patch. Actually good patch. Wait for it. Actually good patch, okay? So, base Guardian HP reduced. Makes it even easier to siege the base. They feel like the games are still lasting too long, especially on low rank. Zipline can now be captured a little bit more towards the enemy base. Forwards towards the enemy base. This also helps with attacking. What that means is if your creep wave is at the enemy towers, you can zip a bit further to the enemy base, okay? So it's an attacker buff. The minimum always capture zipline distance in your base is now reduced a little bit inwards. So again, a nerf to defending, okay? And super troopers, when the shrine is down, now have 15% less bounty. That is also a nerf to defenders, right? So if you get mega creeps, that means the enemy will get less money from them. Actually, really big deal. Really big deal, right? If you kill both enemy shrines, every creep on the map gives 15% less money and is harder to kill. That's massive, okay? That like basically completely negates the comeback gold. This is a massive, massive nerf to defenders. So again, all these changes signal that Yoshi thinks the games are lasting a bit too long, which I kind of agree with still. It's good changes. Now, the next really good change, they actually realized people died too fast. I think most people could agree, right? Like the meta was very, very burst heavy, so they're buffing green in 2 ways. A, hero's base health got increased by 40. Every single hero. Hero health increased growth by +4 and 8%. This is especially, by the way, a buff to squishy characters. The less HP a base character has, or the less HP a character has, the more this is gonna help them. Like, yes, there's still 8%, so technically a character like Abrams will scale also well into the late game, but like with the base health buff is a bigger deal. This really does help squishy characters. Okay, I'm talking Mina, I'm talking Haze, I'm talking Wraith, but in general the idea is obviously to make green items a bit stronger. It's too easy to one-shot someone. Plus, Vitality Investment bonus is increased by 12%. I was wrong. I was right the entire time. Green meta is back. Deathy was wrong, objectively. On a more serious note, I think we'll look into it. But like, I think you might be able to rush green as second. Or even first, right? Like if you're running like something like Life Strike, which I think is still somewhat viable. But we'll look into it, okay? So good changes. Golden Goose got another buff. A gold statue buff every 150 souls now instead of 200. Small adjustment. I think they don't want this to end up like the old cultist that was really broken. It's not a big deal, right? Like, it's a small buff. I think they're being really careful with the item because of what happened to cultists, right? So, Vortex Web will now only unit target when used with alt cast. What happens is you can decide to pull the enemy players without pulling enemy creeps. So if you're in a team fight and there's a lot of creeps around and you want to isolate one person, this is like a buff, right? Like a slight buff. We can talk about Shiv in a second here, because there's also Shiv changes in this patch. I think they actually, last patch, they kind of got close to fixing the character. Like, I think they got pretty close to fixing the character. Like, I do like the new version of Shiv more than the old one, because it's a bit, like, it's not, execute is not a free kill anymore, right? It's a skill shot. They reintroduced Apollo's lunge speed on tier 3 Flawless Advance. But it's now on the tier 3. When Apollo first came out, this used to be on the tier 2 upgrade. Apparently he's underperforming a bit. I would have rather them made the damage higher a bit. Because the lunge speed, it feels weird that like suddenly in the middle of the game the lunge speed is different, right? It's like a different rhythm. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's a buff. It's a small buff. It's really, I don't think this is gonna make him like broken. I think he was already really good. I put him S tier before. Alright, here we go. First change. Calico. Move speed reduced. Fix glue bombs tier 2, giving an extra 15 flat bonus. By the way, this was a bug that has been in the game since the new update. And they haven't fixed it until now. They fixed it finally, okay? So the new tier 2 gloom bombs, by the way, they give 75 extra damage against barriers, right? Which is like situational. But the bug was that the the tier 2, the old upgrade that got I can't speak today. The old upgrade gave flat damage, right? And it was still in the game. Like, it gave you both. So it's a big nerf, okay? Like, that's a big nerf to Gloom Bombs. Scaling reduced from 1.5 to 1.2. And Leaping Slash tier 2 reduced from 300 souls to 225. It's nerfs. I think she's still broken. For the record, maybe this is like doing way more than I thought it would. You know, like that's the one thing but I think this is like an inherently broken mechanic in lane. Celeste gravity is now 25%. Was 20 before? Changed from 28, and they buffed the air control. I don't understand this entire gravity plus air control thing. I understand that this is somewhat of a nerf, but this is a buff. I don't like how they keep on fucking with Celeste's movement. But overall, she did get nerfed because this took a big hit. Light Eater, damage reduced from 25 to 20 on hit, right? That's for every hit. That's the main damage she does. And this is a 20% nerf. Dazzling Trick, scaling, also nerfed. And Shining Wonder no longer refunds half cooldown on miss. And Shining Wonder linger time reduced. Actually, very big nerfs to Celeste, I gotta be honest. Like, this overall makes Celeste's damage a lot lower. Funnily enough, I think this is a harder nerf to Celeste than they nerfed Calico. Okay, Doorman. Call Bell now has impact and explosion damage as separate components again. Previous values for impact explosion. Call Bell tier 2 is now 30 impact damage, 40 explosion damage. So, this is a nerf, obviously, to Doorman, especially in lane. The way Bell used to work is, right, and now works again, is you had to hit them direct to do the damage, right? Part of the damage, and that damage is back. So it's not like fully loaded into the explosion. The explosion is still gonna do a lot of damage, by the way, but less than before. You will have to be more skilled again to hit this. Definitely nerf to Doorman in lane, which overall is gonna make his entire entire gameplay flow a bit worse, because he's not gonna hard dominate in lane. Call Bell tier 3 now also increases slow by 15%. So overall, definitely nerfs to Doorman. Good changes. Call Bell was overtuned. Drifter, fixed Quicksilver reload, dealing bonus damage multiple times on red. I did not know there was a thing. Did anyone else know? I mean, this is more of a bug fix, but nobody has ever mentioned this, okay? Ivy, bullet damage growth increased from 0.06 to 0.08, but Katsu Connection only gives you half the bonus if you're not connected to an ally. So you really... The solo carry run into enemy backline is kind of dead. Like, they want Ivy to be like an off carry / support that like sits with like someone else, right? Airdrop damage, spirit scaling reduced. Airdrop tier 1 spirit scaling reduced. And airdrop tier 2 slow reduced. Okay, so Ivy nerfs. Lash. Death Slam now throw range increased. Death Slam throw range now scales with spirit power. Again, they brought this back. Death Slam tier 3 cast range reduced. And Death Slam tier 3 stun increased. Actually, overall, obviously nerfs, buffs, sorry. Obviously buffs. Yeah, good changes. I mean, quality of life changes to Death Slam. Not gonna make him like a lot stronger, but like, you know, like this matters actually. Like, if you're maxing ult and you're building more spirit, this matters. McGinnis, heavy barrage rate is reduced from 5 to 4.5 meters. Heavy barrage tier 1 slow reduced from 1.5 to 1 second. Heavy barrage tier 3 spirit scaling reduced from plus 25 to plus 0.2. And heavy barrage tier 3 damage reduced from 25 to 22. Is this gonna be enough to make turret not or ult not OP? The answer is probably not. I mean, it is a nerf. I think the biggest deal about it is the radius, because that means like it's hard to precisely hit everyone, right? And if you have more radius, like this is a big nerf actually. But like they buffed it so much, like the last patch. Obviously, we'll have to see. It might turn out that it's actually kind of somewhat balanced now, but it's probably still strong. Mirage Fire Scarab's cooldown reduced by 10 seconds. And Mirage Traveler tier 1 also increased fire rate. So just straight up buffs on Mirage. Mirage players should be happy. Like, this character is not even that bad, I think. Like, at one point in early Traveler might be 100% worth it now. Like, just having 20% extra fire rate, man. Mo and Krill. Nerf. Thank God. Fuck that fucking character. Piece of shit, man. Scorn heal versus non-heroes reduced by quite a lot. Thank God. I can now shoot him in lane and he might eventually die. Scorn cooldown increased by half a second. Combo DPS reduced from 60 to 45. Combo cooldown reduced. And combo, I don't know why they do that, but okay. Combo tier 2 changed from 60 DPS and 50% bullet resist to 35 cooldown and 50% bullet resist. Okay, so less damage, more often grab. I'm fine with this. Combo tier 3 changed from duration and cooldown to duration and damage. So you will have to max ult to do the most damage with it. This score nerf is actually quite big. Like, I always say this and people don't seem to understand. Nerfs that affect a hero's laning are the biggest impact. Because if you have, you know, if your early game is good, you can scale into the mid game well, scale into the late game well. So these nerfs that really affect the hero's strength in lane are way bigger nerfs than like anything tier 3 upgrades, right? So I think he's still going to be a very solid character, but I mean, he is going to be a bit weaker. Like, this is actually, I think, a big deal. Paradox Pulse Grenade does half damage to objectives. Pocket. 80 character, by the way, Ido, right? Yeah, 80 character, bro. Affliction duration reduced. Overall total damage is reduced slightly. Affliction DPS increased from 32 plus 0.2 to 34 plus 0.22. But Affliction tier 2 duration reduced from plus 4 to plus 3 seconds. And Affliction tier 3 DPS increased from 16 to 18. It's not enough, but it's a nerf overall, by the way. This is a nerf overall. The duration of the Affliction lasting that long, it's not enough. This character needs to be gutted, but like, it's small nerfs. I'm down for this. 7 got buffed, guys. Woo! Massive buffs. Yay! Lightning Ball charge time reduced from 8 to 7. Actually, imagine, like, that's like a 12%, 14%, 16% cooldown reduction. I'm too dumb to do math. You can throw balls very fast, man. I like throwing my balls very fast. 12.5, thank you. So 12.5% faster time between charges, basically. Especially worth it if you run rapid recharge. I'm not saying this is going to make him playable, by the way. I think he's still the worst character in the game. But, yeah, I mean, it's a buff. Stormcloud tier 2, increased speed from 3 to 4. I tried this off stream just now. It's actually quite big. Like, you're actually pretty fast with the ult. Like, you're actually pretty fast. Right? Like, it doesn't sound like a lot, like 3 to 4 meters. But this is 4 meters. That's like 25% increase in speed, right? Which means the way to play 7 right now is probably you ball max and then you ult max and you become an ult bot. And I don't want to be an ult bot. But I think the ult bot playstyle might be viable. I think it's literally max ball, max ult, and like just go healing, heal bane, right? Suppressor, all the debuff shit. With everyone's HP being higher, Siphon bullets actually got buffed. Right? Because it takes 2.5% of the max HP. This is a buff to Siphon. Like, quite a big one, by the way. If you do the math on an average character, 40 base HP, right? And then 8% extra plus the vitality, 12%? That's like a, you know, I want to say that's around a 10%, 11% HP increase on everyone. Which is a 10% buff to Siphon. And Siphon works on CD? Wait. Tech? Wait, did they fix that? Okay. So cooldown. This never used to be affected by cooldowns, chat. But apparently now it is. Let's see. So if you end up buying Transcendent Cooldown, it works on Siphon. Wraith tech? I mean, obviously this is super niche, right? Because you need a character that wants both Transcendent Cooldown and Siphon. Which I can only think of Wraith right now. But if Transcendent Cooldown works on other things in your kit, then it is probably worth. I will look into Wraith in a second, but let's finish this, okay? There's still a few changes here. Shiv, alt fire knockback increased. This is a Shiv movement buff. Shiv's serrated knife cooldown increased. Killing blow range increased by quite a lot and travels a bit faster. So I have seen the new killing blow. Even the best players in the game miss it. It's hard to use, so I understand why they're buffing it slightly. Knives got nerfed though. I think he's in a way healthier spot than he was before this patch. I actually really like what they did to Shiv. The issue before was if you had a certain team comp, you could get free executes and kill everyone. And now he can't like one-shot you anymore with dash / killing blow, right? He can't execute every single person on the enemy team. And they adjusted the knives a bit. It seems like I do think that bloodletting is the main issue with Shiv. But like it looks like they don't want to rework it. So This is like, I think, the best we'll get for now. I think it's good changes. Silver Lichen Curse cooldown reduced. Lichen Curse here 1 increased from 15% resist to 18. I'm worried, man. Like, if they do that a tiny bit more, then we'll go back to like Silver being mega OP. But like, okay. Oh, they nerfed my boy, man. I was about to... Okay, so this doesn't affect my build as much, so... Pain Battery, nerf from 18% missing health to 15 on tier 3. Quite a big nerf, actually. Jumpstart tier 3, nerfed, scaling from 0.8 to 0.6, so less healing. Aura of Suffering can now be activated on zipline. There's quality of life change, not gonna do much. Aura of Suffering radius reduced, nerf again. Aura of Suffering and tier 2 base max DPS and scaling reduced. So again, double nerf to Victor's Aura. Gun is better, hybrid is better. Shocking Reanimation cooldown increased 20 seconds, and Shocking Reanimation tier 3 increased. Tier 3 increases cooldown from 50 seconds to 70. I think they mean tier 2, by the way, because it's a tier 2 upgrade. I think that's a typo. Oh, it's on the tier 3. Never mind, my bad. Tier 2 is the health. Okay. So, slight Victor nerfs. Victor, I think, still really good hybrid. I think hybrid Victor, really good. Vindicta fixed not gaining bonus damage if procs bonus was the killing blow. If a proc bonus was a killing blow, so just a bug fix, quality of life change. Viscous fixed Puddle Punch tier 3, giving an extra 60 melee damage. Puddle Punch scaling reduced. That's probably so far the biggest nerf of the patch other than Celeste. When I look at the Calico changes, I know I'm repeating myself, but when I look at the Calico changes, I feel like she's still gonna be insane. Warden, massive change, guys. Last stand, bullet and spirit resist while channeling reduced by 10%, but tier 3, you get an extra 30. Woo! I don't know. I think they want to make the ult maxing a bit more valuable, but like, knowing Yoshi, right? Like, he doesn't like gun characters being meta, right? Like, Wraith is gonna get nerfed harder than fucking Calico and shit, but okay. This is actually really... Okay, listen. I'm biased. I love Wraith. This is a massive nerf. It might not seem like it, but there's a 20% nerf to damage on cards if you have max cards. 20%. I'm not saying it's unplayable, but okay. Card trick Joker no longer bounces to other targets. Joker was already insane, so this I don't mind. This is good. Card trick gaining charges no longer automatically builds them up. That means if you buy extra charge in lane, you don't get another extra card immediately. Card trick can now be alt casted to fire. Oh, also upgrades, by the way, on base level. So you don't get like 4 cards instantly in lane. Big nerf to laning, actually, early on. Card trick now can be alt casted to fire from the inverse order. This is very cool. It's like high skill ceiling, but this is very cool. That means if you have like a Joker at the very end, you can like put it to the front. Like, I think it's very cool. Good change. Card trick tier 3 spades. Damage reduced from 50 to 40. And the healing reduced from 75 to 0.5 scaling. Telekinesis, cast range reduced. Telekinesis can throw range reduced. And telekinesis cast delay increased. This is actually quite a big nerf to Wraith. More so than Calico got nerfed, in my opinion. So overall, I'm happy with the patch. I think they, like, the big thing they addressed, this is a really big deal. I think they addressed the burst in the game. So overall, the game should feel a bit more stable again. Hopefully, we'll have to see. I think this is a really big deal. Having more HP, increasing HP by 8% per boon, right, and more, and having more base HP. And they nerfed and buffed the right characters, okay? In my opinion. I mean, it's literally the ST characters on my tier list got nerfed and the DT characters got buffed, right? So they nerfed they nerfed and buffed the right characters. I just think they go, like, I think it's not enough for Calico, probably. I'll have to play, right? I haven't played yet. I think it's not enough for Calico. I think Celeste got nerfed quite hard. It might not be enough for Doorman, but we'll see. I think it's probably good enough to not make him, like, super OP. And, I also don't know if it's enough for McGuinness. For everything else, I think it's good adjustments. Pocket probably needs a bit more of a nerf. Mo is probably fine. 7 probably needs a few more buffs. But overall, like, they address some of the issues. I think they will realize down the line this is just inherently broken. Like, generating gold in this game for free is OP. That's why Cultist was so OP, since they had to nerf this Cultist item 20 times. This is inherently broken, in my opinion, and it needs to be changed. But, like, otherwise, good patch. I'm excited. Now the issue is they didn't fix the matchmaking, so we'll still suffer, but, like, yeah, whatever.